Hi, welcome to Free Spirit and welcome to the last week of November, the overall weekly spirit reading from November 22nd to the 29th. I kept on getting back to love, back to love, back to love, back to what's important, back to, after being pulled in so many different directions and everything else, just coming back to love, like thankful, grateful, back to love. It almost felt like a mind and heart adjustment. We've been through so much and you could feel like you were pulled in all these different directions, and then it's coming back to what's most important, back to love, back to feeling thankful and grateful and what's most important. That's all I was getting. So no doubt, it is Thanksgiving week, but no matter where you are, it's beyond the holiday. It's just taking a moment to just really get back to love, and you could feel like you've been adjusted, like your mind and heart has been adjusted in some way. And also it's something about, I don't even know how to word this, but it is almost like a little detachment of what's going on around, where you're just more in your personal power, where you're just following through on what you're getting, like your divine guidance or what you know you are supposed to be doing. A lot has been coming through about that, and you could feel a slightly changed or shifted, like you've been through the minefield, almost the minefield and the mind field, in your mind and heart, and there's been some kind of adjustment where you could feel like you've let go of things and it's back to love. I don't know how else to say it. They're saying it's back to love, and there could be almost a real sense of thankfulness and gratefulness to be on the other side of that, where it's just back to love, like back to what's the most important. And so there could be, you could almost feel like you're coming back to yourself in a sense, but then you're also different because you don't have that going on in your mind and heart. So it feels like there was a very internal workings that were going on here, and you could feel some relief at this last week of November, where you have a greater understanding of what you're almost even aligned to. So you're almost facing what's the next future, like what's coming up, in a better way, because you're more open, you're more centered, you're more aligned, you've let go. It's like, so yeah, it's back to love, and it's back to love, and so you could really be feeling that in a real sense, and a real openness for whatever may come in. And there's almost that, I don't want to say, not that it doesn't matter, but there's less relying on things like it has to be this, it has to work out this way. There's a more openness and acceptedness, and that really is a strength. So when they were talking about personal power, it's a strength to be like, you don't necessarily know what you're tackling tomorrow or next week, but that you have the personal power to be ready for it. There's something internal about that, like, and no matter what, like whether it happens, it doesn't happen, it's, so there's something here where we're really back to love here. And after everything that has been chaotic or crazy or spin out or anything else, it's coming back to love, coming back to what's most important. And with that, say if you have a tabletop filled with a gazillion things and there's slight overwhelmness, it's messy, you have no idea what's going on. But if you look at the table and there's really just one thing that's really important and has value, and you hold on to that, it's like back to love, back to what's important, and the rest really doesn't matter that much. So that's encompassing a lot. So I don't know, they're making me put all this on the video. So you could be feeling this internally, and you could be feeling ready for the new, whatever may come, what may, and doing all you can, that you're just more aligned with back to love and thankful, grateful, and you know what's of worth and what's of value, and letting a lot of the rest go. So it's just really interesting. I'm just throwing it all in here, what I'm getting. But it actually made me feel, when I first got it, this back to love almost made me cry, because it could feel like it took a lot just to get back to love. Because sometimes when you're so caught up with everything else, it takes you on another ride. And so to be able to have the time and space where you can just really come back to love and what's most important and what's of value, and just almost swim in that for a little bit, it's really wonderful. And that's the feel that I get of this week. So I know it's Thanksgiving week, but it's not just the holiday of feeling thankful, grateful. It's just really, it's a lot of inner stuff that we went through. And so now you could just be basking in back to love, thankful, grateful, what's most important, and ready and feeling stronger for whatever may come, whatever may be, and facing it in a different way. and approaching things in a different way, almost like a realignment. So it's just really interesting. Let's tap into the decks. We're going to tap into 6 decks. We're going to tap into the archangels for the week, last week of November. No doubt this is like heading us into December. And like I said, the new year almost feels like it's starting now. So a lot of it feels like we're ready for a new chapter, a new cycle, a new sense of the future, and we're stronger for it. And everything we've been through, we're more ready for it, and we're more aligned to what's important and what's of value. It's that kind of feel. So it's very much of like if this was January and you're going into a new year, but yet it's the last week of November. And so it could be the feel because of so much of what we've been through. Yeah, it's just a lot on the inside and out. So here, let's tap into the archangels. Let's tap into the energy. Let's tap into the goddess guidance. Let's tap into what to surrender to make it easier. Let's tap into messages from heaven, our loved ones passed on, our spirit guides, and end it with guardian angel messages. So let's just release and exhale and get ready to receive messages for the last week of November. Everything, I just shared everything that I've been getting, and some of it was so overwhelming when I got it. It made me teary-eyed, like almost the gratefulness to finally be in that point after everything, that you could just feel thankful, grateful, back to love, what's important, relief from not being so pulled in so many different directions, and ready for the future, ready for the next chapter, ready and stronger for everything that we've been through also. Yeah, that's just what I'm getting. And now the construction starting around me, so we're ready for what we need to do in the physical is what I'm getting too. We're going to be more ready for what we need to do. So let's step into the archangel messages now. The messages for the last week of November. I feel like we need this week. I feel like we've needed this week. It's just going to be a nicer... I feel like we just need this week. Our insides needed this week. Okay, so let's see. What is the first? Wow, this first part is going to be important. Okay, so we're getting Knight of Raphael. So we are definitely moving on our hearts at this time. There are committed romantic relationships. It's being swept off your feet. Situations or topics that make your heart flutter. So this could be a very uplifting week. Like I said, like we need it. Like our hearts could really be needing this week. I also feel that we're being guided towards more uplifting situations. Relationships could really be going very well at this time, but you're definitely moving on, following your heart at this time, and your heart is taking you places in this last week. And like I said, back to love. So it's almost like you could be actually just making your moves coming from your heart space at this time, and also your relationships could really be taking off at this time, like positive relationships, personal, business, and there could be really great connections happening this week, where it's all about the heart. Yeah, I mean, it's all about the heart. Like I said, back to love, because the next card we have is the King of Michael. So make no doubt about it. This is going to be such a heart, like back to love, right? Back to love, back to what gets you moving in the physical, coming from your heart space. And the King of Raphael, yes, it is safe to trust, the ability to accomplish many things at once, follow your creative passions. It's all about coming from your heart space. This is King of Raphael, Knight of Raphael. So not only are you in your power in the physical, moving on the things that you really care about, following your heart, making your moves from your heart. That's what I'm getting. And your relationships could really benefit from this. This is going to be a back to love week, where everybody is just going to be coming more from their heart space. So you could be feeling that your relationships are going to be much more loving at this time, that you could feel yourself filled with love, that you're really in your power when it comes to moving on things that you really care about, is what I'm getting. Like they started, it's back to love. Like we've needed this kind of week where you're just really in your heart space. And the moves now, it's like do things that are aligned to your heart. Literally, like follow your heart. And your relationships are going to be benefiting also but there's going to be, it's back to love. I mean, like how it started with the spirit message. And like they said, I felt a wave when I got that. And this is all water in these cards. It's like ride the wave. Like you're really going to be moved by what you're feeling. You're going to be really being moved, stirred through your heart space this week. So it's like your heart stirrings are going to be taking you places. You're going to be making your moves from your heart. It's like just follow your heart at this time. And everything is going to be benefiting from it. Also, like they said, back to love, but back to you, you know, because you in essence are an embodiment of love. So there could be a real feeling like after everything, you're just coming back to you, back to love, making your moves from your heart space. And it is also going to be a time for relationships, for positivity in your relationships. That's what I'm getting. You know, where there's going to be situations or people that are just going to really be uplifting to your heart space during this week. And like I said, it's a much needed week. I've never gotten so many heart cards. We haven't gotten that all year, to be honest with you. We've never started off with any Archangel Raphael. So this is going to be like a week that we needed, where we're coming back to love in every which way. And you're going to be really feeling that on a very intimate, personal level, that you're just really coming back. It's like back to love and back to you, because like you in essence are a walking heart. In a sense, you're following your hearts and you're made of love. And so it's gonna feel like there's a right alignment when you come from your heart with things and you're making your moves from your heart and being guided by your heart. And thank God we're getting out of this. It's getting us out of the Knight of Michael, where we've been tortured in our mind space. And that's why I kept on saying, like, we need this back to love. Here it says your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire, releasing those feelings of regret, guilt, and worry to your angels. And I feel like that's what we're getting help doing, getting out of the mind. That's been a recurring message. We're getting the 3 of Michael, getting out of the mind, then worry, and the heartbreak and disappointments. Make no doubt about it. Our hearts are taking us out of there. We're moving out of there within our hearts. Just like I said, back to love, getting out of this. And we have, change your life, the Tower, change your life. This is the week that we wanted, where we are literally, this is Major Arcana, change your life. It's a sudden revelation that offers freedom. Break free of procrastination. Embrace the opportunities that change brings. We are embracing these opportunities for changes. We're getting out of the fearfulness, the doubts, the worry, the heartbreak, the disappointments, releasing the past. Well, how? Because we're back to love. We're back to, literally, it's like Archangel Michael is stirring our hearts to get past this, to get free of this, change your life. We're getting past what we've been saying in our minds. We're getting past the disappointments, the losses, the past. These are change your life moments. And what's helping is the moves we're making heart-based. It's really back to love. Like, you're going to be finding that you are just back to you and back to love. And it is the change your life moments that's getting us out of these disappointments, the worry. It's like love trumps all. Love trumps the fears and the worries and the doubts. Love trumps the past disappointments. It's welcoming the freedom from this. It's welcoming the change your life moments. It's the revelations and breaking free of this and the opportunities that change brings, what the future brings. They want us to walk into us kind of like what I was saying, like it's a brand new year, where you're owning your heart space. Like you are really going forward on you're coming from your heart. It's like back to love, back to you, and making the steps, following through on what's in your heart. That's the change your life opportunities that are coming here. So it's literally, like I said in the beginning, it's back to love and back to you. And it was making me tear up because it's not being fearful now because you're in your power of the changes anymore, because you know you're going to rebuild this, and the moves and steps you're making from your heart are going to build something wonderful. You're going to definitely get out of the past disappointments and the thoughts and everything else, because you're making different choices and having different opportunities, and it's going to be more heart-based. It's more back to love. So it's embracing these changes and the opportunities. So like I said, it feels like a new year because that's what change brings, new opportunities. So it's like we're stepping in there more back to love and following through on what is genuinely aligned to our hearts. And how beautiful is that? Because those steps and those moves are bringing us out of what we're saying to ourselves in our mind and the past disappointments and losses. And it's embracing the changes in your life. that are just opportunities. So we've definitely been worked on internally in our hearts and minds. Just like I said, it felt like an adjustment of the heart and mind to greet these changes and new opportunities in a different way, and definitely more heart-based, back to love. And with that, the last message they want to say is, again, you can't make this up. We are going in there more in our personal power. Like they said, we don't fear these changes. We know they're opportunities that are going to be different because we're owning. It's back to love, making the moves from love. It's like leaping over. It's a readjustment out of the past and what we say to ourselves. And because we've reclaimed personal power, we've only been made stronger. And they want us to greet these new change your life opportunities and everything that's coming in here stronger, standing up for what you believe in, have confidence, claim your personal power. And we have been worked on in our heart. Like I said, it was like a heart and mind adjustment to come into more personal power. This has been the card to embody facing these new opportunities, change your life moments that we're all experiencing right now. And you could feel that this has been worked on in very personally, intimately in your mind and heart, to come out stronger, to literally come out stronger, and to believe in your personal power for these new opportunities that are coming in. So like I said, it's a much needed week. It does feel like now it's back to love and power, right? The power, back to the love and power, to greet these new changes and opportunities that are come in. And it trumps the 9 of Michael and the 3 of Michael, meaning anything we had in our minds and hearts that held us back in any way from coming into more personal power for these new opportunities. Let's get the energy here. Like I said, it's back to love and power, really, for the new changes, new opportunities. And you could have felt like you've really been getting an adjustment with your mind and heart. I know it sounds weird to say, but anything it took to get you back into here. And look at this, we have a man holding a heart. So I feel that there has been, look at this, King of Raphael, man holding a heart. There's a lot of love around you, first of all. And I feel there's a lot of love and appreciation for you. And that's what I'm getting. There's a lot of love, and you could be finding in your relationships that you're encountering people who are reflecting love back to you. You could have a lot of love, supportive relationships. This could also, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be romantic, business, family, anything, but you have a lot of love supporting you in the physical here. And we have rest and rejuvenation. So you could be finding, after the turmoil of the past and the worries and everything else, that this is a period to bask almost in love, back to love, and rest and rejuvenation, to face these new, this is change your life opportunities that are coming in. So this could be a real recharge, rejuvenation, coming back to love, your power, and everything else, to create more opportunities that are coming in. Let's get the goddess guidance. But this rest and rejuvenation, to come back into more love and power for the new opportunities that are going to be coming in. Rest and rejuve from everything that we've been through in the past, to let go of that. And you're heading right into more love and support also being reflected back to you. So it really is back to love, like back to love in every sense. Like you're coming back to love, and it's coming back into your life, and we're getting go outside. You got to get out there. So go outside. Here we have, you have been indoors too long. Go outside, get some fresh air. If you've been inside, this is going to be a week where you're going to be going out. They're also like, get out there. That's my card for getting out there again in your personal power. Back to love in your personal power. Go outside. Also, there's a lot of love and support outside there for you here in this card. And when easy does it, there's no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect divine timing. That's the rest and rejuvenation, and tap into that knowing also. Whenever you ever have doubts or fears or anything from the past creeping in, you know to trust easy does it. Easy does it, because everything is happening in divine timing. That's part of the rest and rejuvenation that you can bask in. The knowledge and the wisdom that everything is occurring in divine timing. There's a lot of letting go here. We have Kali, endings and beginnings. Yeah, doubling down. So this is a time, make no doubt about it. The old must be released so the new can enter. And the new is entering. These are change your life moments. They want you to be in your power. And it is definitely, you have the wisdom to know easy does it. That's part of the rest and recharge. You can rest and recharge knowing you don't have to force things to happen, anything else. This is definitely back to love and power, right? Back to your love and power, definite endings and beginnings. It almost feels like a brand new cycle and new, look what we're giving birth to, new growth here, new chapter, new beginnings here. And it has all been like an adjustment with our minds and hearts to come into more personal power for them, to get past the past. So you're really going to feel back to love and power, and not to be fearful of these changing. You're going to be more ready. Everything I said in the beginning, they made me say, you're in your strength. You're not even facing these changes or endings and beginnings in the way you even did in the past, because you're more in your personal power now. It's just really amazing. It's just really amazing. I almost have no words. I hope you're getting it, but that's what I mean. Like we've been changed. We've come into more personal power, back to love and back to personal power, that you don't even fear the changes or the opportunity. You know that it's bringing new opportunities. It's trumping anything that you were telling yourself in your mind and heart. Like that's been released. You've been worked on, and it just trumps it. And you also know easy does it. Like you don't even have to force things to happen. You can rejuve and rest and relax in the fact that it's divine timing, and you're strong enough for this. So this is just really amazing what they're saying. So let's step into what to surrender now to make it easier. Is there anything we can? So it's like back to love and power for changes, back to the love and power and for new opportunities, not fearing anything as much as we did in the past, that you're going to feel stronger and different in your heart and mind for these new opportunities. You're going to feel you've been worked on. Okay, surrender to the beauty of the natural world. This kept on falling out on here, go outside. So there could be moments to take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by finding the beauty and ecstasy there. That we had rejuve and relax. So there could be moments, go out in nature, go outside and let that support you. We're getting surrender the habit of people pleasing. Yeah, you're in your personal power. Like I said, detachment. There's something there about it. Almost doesn't matter like what other people are doing or thinking or protect, it doesn't. The surrender, the habit of people pleasing, that you're reclaiming your personal power with that. That was another thing to be adjusted. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. That's what I was trying to touch on in the very beginning. It's part of your personal power. There's less expenditure. There's a detachment here. It's coming back to love and back to you and your power for the new opportunities and changes. It's a new beginning. Surrender your need to always be right. This is going to help your relationships. Give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. This is a time for improvement in relationships. You can be more compromising and everything else. You don't have to be right. You don't have to say you're right. That's also, you're taking that back. That's part of, that's like ego talking. So here, let's get messages from heaven. Loved ones passed on. This is definitely endings, beginnings, more in your power, heart-based, absolutely. So let's get one of the messages from heaven. Loved ones passed on. Yeah, okay. So a whole bunch fell out here. We have, hold this in your heart, not in your home. It's okay to declutter. We've been getting this card a lot. We had declutter for more things to come in here. So you may want to declutter your mind, your heart, your spirit, your home. So anything you need to let go of at this time, you don't need to hold on to. So that's what I meant by there's been a readjustment. Decluttering from your mind and heart of things that need to go, and your home. Then we're getting seek professional help if you need to. All will be well. If you need to reach out, you could be feeling through your relationships. That's what I'm always getting about when you need assistance or help, you're getting help. They're also telling me, this is the card, all will be well. So everything that's going on during this time, you could be actually getting a lot of love, support, backing, that they're letting you know all is going to be well. And you also have help in the physical if you need it. You're not doing anything alone. Don't rush into making big decisions right now. Remember, we had easy does it. You can take your time. You're right within divine timing. There's no need to rush with anything. And this is a recurring message. Continue to grow by seeking new knowledge. We're applauding your efforts. For everything that you're doing and planting in the physical, keep doing it. This is what they're giving you, your power, back to love and power. Keep planting. Keep doing everything you're doing in the physical has been a recurring message. So you could feel like you have really been adjusted in your mind space and heart space to come into more personal power and make the moves back to love, back to what your heart wants and needs, trumping what you've been saying in your mind and heart, like decluttering all that out for these new beginnings. They're endings and beginnings and the change your life moments, coming to face these changes in a different way and seizing the opportunities and keep planting your seeds. That's the message that they want to say. So let's get now the guardian angel messages for this reading. So yeah, it is back to love, back to your personal power, and facing those changes, those change your life moments, those new opportunities. They're applauding your efforts all along the way. You could feel very personally, like I said before, that you're really coming into more personal power in a way that you probably didn't before. They're almost like working us to claim more personal power because it's needed for whatever you're planting. That's a recurring message. And so to look at the changes, we are looking at it with less fear, less of what we used to say in our minds and hearts when we faced changes. We're now looking at it as opportunities. Like they said, like we're stronger. We can, whatever comes tomorrow or next week, you're strong enough to grab it and to keep planting. You've been changed. You don't even look at changes and opportunities the same way that you did before. There's something about that. It's back to love and back to your power for these new opportunities and changes, and you're ready. So let's get the guardian angel messages. It's just amazing. There are almost no words for it, so that's why I'm like stumbling around for this reading. Yeah, positive outcome, absolutely. Right on planting. Like whatever you're doing in the physical, we applaud your efforts and there are going to be positive outcomes. So this is, you're getting it from here. There's something also, because there's less about people pleasing, like know that whatever you're doing in the physical, they're applauding your efforts. It's leading to positive outcomes. That's what you know too when you're facing new opportunities and change your life moments and things. Positive outcomes at this very moment. You are sowing the seeds. You can't make this up. They said that. Literally, they just said that. Keep going because you're sowing the seeds right now for these positive outcomes through your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and attitudes, whether through love, fear, or indifference. You're always creating something. So remember to keep your thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes positive, and you will create a positive outcome. Just like what I said in that special moon manifesting guidance, they were saying focus on the positive is very important. Stay in your strength and stay planting in the physical for these positive outcomes. That's why you're being infused with all this power to stay positive over the disappointments, the heartbreak, what you used to say in your mind. Now they're doing the construction really loudly because there's stuff that we need to do in the physical, and it's really important to stay positive. Keep your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, attitudes positive because you're always creating something. So they're trying for us to trump the fear, anything else that we do that blocks these two Michael cards, when we get stuck in the past. There's something about that we need to be stronger here and keep sowing our seeds. Keep sowing your seeds positively, following through. You know that this is actually part of the positive. You're creating positive outcomes, staying that way in that fashion. That's why they brought you back to love, back to your proper alignment. Keep planting your seeds. And it's definitely new beginnings coming in here. New changes, opportunities, new positive outcomes. We're getting acceptance. Remember, acceptance. There's nothing in your life to fix, only the disowned parts of you that yearn for love and acceptance. You're beautiful just as you are. This is what I meant by we've been internally worked on in our minds and hearts to come more into personal power. You are beautiful just as you are, regardless of any faults you may perceive you have. You are an eternally radiant being of light. Accept all that you are and just be you. When you truly accept yourself, your whole world will magically and lovingly transform and love, back to even love and appreciation of yourself to stand in more personal power. There's something they helped us with our minds and hearts to come into more acceptance, be more nurturing almost to our own personal power for these new opportunities and changes coming in that we need to plant. So it really is to back to love and power for positive outcomes in all ways. And you can find that this has been worked on. Yeah, why? Because action, you have to be in this personal power and everything for these positive outcomes. You need to take action and continue planting your seeds. So that's why this has all been happening. Drop all fear. Again, we're trumping the fear back here. Remember the Nine of Michael. We're trumping that Nine of Michael. Drop all fear and just do it. You have the power to create and be whatever you truly want. Look inside your heart and take positive action in those things. That's what they're asking us to do, literally. That's why they're asking us to embody this. That's why we were worked on in our hearts to come back to love, come back to you, make the moves from your heart space in your personal power and drop the fear. You have the power to create and be whatever you truly want. Look inside your heart and take positive action on those things that bring you closer to achieving your desired goals. Here's the planting of the seeds. Nothing can stop you except your own fears. This card is positive confirmation from God and the angels that the time is right for you to start a new and exciting venture. And this is change your life moment. So they literally want you to follow your heart and follow your power and keep doing those actions that are leading to positive outcomes. These are definitely new beginnings here. And you've been worked on, and you have been worked on in your mind and heart to come into more personal power, to keep planting seeds and take action over the fear, over what you may have been holding in your mind and heart. It's almost like trumping it for the change your life, new beginnings, to seize the opportunities instead of letting the fear or whatever's in your mind and heart stop you in the past. This is all for positive action and positive outcomes. So keep planting your seed. They're applauding your efforts, and it's leading to positive outcomes. And this trumps everything. This trumps what you used to hold in your mind, what you used to hold in your heart, what even other people projected on you. There was something about stop the people pleasing, being affected by other people's energy so much. Anything that may have held you back from owning more of your personal power and making the moves that you know are in your heart, owning what's in your heart and making the moves that's in your heart, in your personal power, taking the action steps, leading to positive outcomes. And there's been a lot of acceptance worked on internally in your mind and heart to come in more acceptance, so you don't have things draining your power. That once you have acceptance, you claim more personal power to keep going and planting your seeds. They're applauding your efforts. That's what you need to know. They're applauding your efforts, but this has been real divine workings inside out. And just like in that special moon manifesting guidance reading that I posted right before here, short and sweet, they said we are manifesting from the inside out. And this has been from the inside out because you came into more acceptance. You reclaim more power. Anything that was taking away from your personal power, you've been worked on internally in your mind and heart to step forward in more personal power, owning your heart, making the moves, and keep planting your seeds, taking the action for positive outcomes, and seizing that these are new opportunities. This is new opportunities. Embrace the changes and the new opportunities, and you're stronger to face them. They made us that way. So this is beautiful and really amazing reading for the last week of November, and it exceeds out. This card has been a repeating card to embody. So if you hold on to one thing as you're planting your seeds in the physical for positive outcomes, and you're taking your action steps in the physical for that, this is the card to embody. This has been a recurring message. You stand up for what you believe in, you have confidence, you claim your personal power, and you're riding on your heart space, and you're planting those seeds, and you know that you have backing and there's positive outcomes, and it's riding higher than the ordinary fears and doubts and the past. It's riding onwards, upwards and onwards from that, seizing the new opportunities that change brings. There's a power and strength in that when you look at things like that instead of the old fearful stories or whatever we held in our minds and hearts. So this is, like they kept on saying, I know it's not January, but it feels like the start of a new chapter, almost like that new year feel, where you're going into this much differently in your minds and hearts for positive outcomes. So keep planting your seeds. They applaud your efforts, everything you're doing in the physical. And I welcome all of these changes, new opportunities, and I wish you the best. Take care. Bye-bye.